welcome to an epic Satanic Saturday, and we got a wonderful barbecue for you all tonight to kick off the celebration, because you know what's coming right after. If you're ready to sin and get down with the undead outlaws, that's right. On the goddamn program will be on right after the barbecue this evening, but we are here to celebrate a real, true testament to indie horror and all of those behind the scenes, the writers, the directors, the producers, the cast, and everyone that supported this film. We're talking about Jay Horton's A Hard Place. It is free, and I've been telling you for the past 4 days, demons and addicts alike, it's on Tubi. And there's no excuse why you haven't seen this epic creature feature. And we're very excited to give you our review of this film. And if you haven't seen it yet, don't worry. We're not going to give you any spoilers, but we're going to take you to the brink of insanity and enough to tickle your liver and make it quiver. That's right. So before we get started with all this madness, we're going to take a quick commercial break to our brother over at the horrorstruckhotsauce.com. Share this shit out anywhere and everywhere. There is an indie horror lover, and horror addicts alike. Check it out.
Tasty.
Oh, yeah. If you're looking for just the right darkness to put on some of them rack of ribs, I know I love them, especially femurs.
A little demonic seasoning to give it a little spice.
That is right.
With Bella, a little bite.
I'm telling you. And he's just released a whole bunch of new flavors. So on the goddamn program, I will be showing them to you. Hell yeah. So get over there to horrorstruckhotsauce.com. Here we are to celebrate this amazing, out of fucking nowhere, cut right through the motherfucking underground with a amazing creature feature known as A Hard Place. And as a matter of fact, our newest co-host, Cricket, you're gonna get to meet her on the goddamn program, and she actually plays one of the creatures in this film. Cheryl, it's kind of hard to look out for her because, I mean, let's face it, she's a creature. And most of y'all know out there in the Black Flame universe that myself, I have started out as a creature actor, and my undead brother here, Mortimer, is the creature actor from hell. He can literally bring to life any fucking creature character that has already come before us and inventing some new ones as we fucking speak. So this is very special for us, and we're very happy to do it. I've alerted the great Jay Horton that we're going to be doing this, so hopefully he tunes in. Welcome everybody to the barbecue this evening, and don't be shy with the comments.
Grab a plate of this horror goodness.
That's right.
Join us in the comments.
Definitely the horror sauce tonight.
The comments, the condiments. I mean, you guys are our horror struck hot, with the sauce to our horror barbecue.
Or do you become the sauce for our horror? That's right. For all of the great delights. All right. So first and foremost, location.
Oh yes.
When
Gary
I
Gallman. Yes.
started to see some of the stills from this film, I mean, Jay Horton couldn't have picked a better location. This beautiful ranch. And of course, as you can see, in the dead of winter,
Yeah.
this is a testament to this cast that everyone believed. There you see the great, oh my goodness, Lynn Lowry, who I've acted with in not one but two films now. She is an absolute delight. And she is an amazing character in this story. You know, and these locations really bring everything to life for this film. You feel
Ohio
like
in the middle of February.
Places, right?
Ohio in the middle of February. That's a testament to the cast, the cast for that. You know, but it does add to it too, because to me, that was it kind of, and I don't know if it was intentional, but to me, like you were saying, it felt like a nod to Texas Chainsaw, especially like the original. Because if you're in the middle of nowhere and you've got nowhere to go, what are you going to do?
Well, yeah, and you know, they're criminals. You know, they've just knocked over a joint, and they're on the run, and their rendezvous point is this place out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And little do they know, they get thrust into an ages long, we're talking decades and decades of a fight between two different creature factions. And you know, the one being called the Guardians, I think that is so appropriate. And they are the literally the guardians of the wilderness. It's fucking phenomenal.
It reminded me of a Gollum like vibe. Like in that kind of way of being, you know, literally, but kind of like Swamp Thing too, technically.
I was going to say even some werewolf films.
Kind of to a degree.
You couldn't have picked a better stage for this film. So anything from the stables to what turns into a kind of like a small community, just smack dab in the middle of the woods there, that it's like one of those communities you didn't know it was there unless you happen to stumble upon it. And here we find our actors and actresses that are the criminals of this story. Just wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's the interesting part too, because you're put in that position. It's like these are the kind of the bad guys that we're following, or they're supposed to be, you know, but from what we've seen. But should we feel for them now that they're in a situation they don't understand?
Right.
You know, or do you not? It plays with you on that. I kind of like, you know, I liked that. You know,
absolutely.
You got to decide who you're going to side with, really.
Good to see you, Kyler. Welcome to the show. Sorry that you're tired. You must have partied a little too much on the 4th.
So you just recharge during the barbecue, brother. You recharge and then you show up for the goddamn program.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your guts are about to get busted.
And we'll tie it on for you.
Right?
I will.
So we have the great Kevin Caliber as one of our main crooks.
And the stunt coordinator for the film.
Oh yeah.
Also handled the stunt coordination.
You know, a film like this, you know, you absolutely have to have a piece of man meat, right?
Well, it doesn't hurt to, you know, to have. Yeah, I would say you kind of have that archetype. Well, because you look at it like that, right? It's the same thing as why in so many films, let's put the half-dressed, you know, melon-heavy breasted chick there. It's the same thing with the guys. You know, the guys should be there for the eye candy for guys or girls that want to look at a guy that's, you know, the big built dude.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't miss a single stutter step when to show the guns. If they,
yeah.
And of
but
course,
you do though when you're doing like a creature feature kind of battle, you do need that guy represented or gal, you know, and you kind of get that route too. It's like you get to go. They did I wouldn't say it's like the archetypes, but there's a lot of different types of, they're not just the same archetype criminal. They're all their own different kind of personalities and stuff like that. And you got to see them try to commingle and coexist while dealing with, basically coming into, a creature version of the the McCoys and the Hatfield
it really does have that Hatfield versus the McCoys conflict a lot. I love the play on that, but it's darker, it's more mysterious, and it's centered around a love story. And that's one of the things that captivated me about this particular script the most. Is that here we are. It's like underworld origins kind of idea, where a guardian fell in love with one of the family of shifters, essentially. I don't know what we would exactly call them. It's hard to explain. To me, it looks like a cross between like the lizard people and I don't know, almost like the Thing. It's kind of hard to really
see. I would say for me, now I get that, but for me, and more of the context, I would say there's snakes.
Okay. Yep. I can get down with that as well.
It was the vibe I got was like, like immortal snake people. Well, just immortal not gonna die of old age.
Mm-hmm. Just generations. And they each of the family members happen to have the choice, to whether or not they want to be turned, or if they're actually I should say if they're worthy enough.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, we're getting just a little bit ahead, so let's take you back a little bit. So one of the things that I absolutely love about this film is that it's a firecracker right from the get-go.
I was gonna say, that was in my, I'm glad you said that, because in my notes I said not a cold opening. And that was like just my first note.
Just a little bit of a buildup.
Yeah.
And it's
they're coming in hot.
Yeah. It's the perfect way to, within the first few moments of a film, to kind of set the tone. Like, something's happening right now. You're not exactly sure. And brilliant nod to the wonderful drive-in movie theaters.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And a movie within a movie.
Right. And of course, the great Bai Ling.
Oh yes,
is in this epic movie within a movie. So, you can't beat that. She's drop kicking zombies left and right. And to answer your question there, it does seem to be a little bit of a widescreen. I watched it on my computer, but I was able to like make it full screen. So
I just watched it on Tubi on the TV screen, and it looked fine to me.
Was it wide or full screen?
Oh, I couldn't even tell with these eyes.
Oh, okay. Oh well, you got too much dust going on.
If I blow too hard, they'll roll across the room, so I have to be careful with that.
Yes, absolutely. So there's some other epic actors that take place in that opening scene with the film within the film. The great Doug Bayless, who's a good actor friend of mine, and he does tons of cosplays. He's a natural born creature actor. I would say he's played zombies, he's played demons, he's now he's playing actually his biggest creation is the zombie soldier.
Oh, nice.
Which is what you see in that film within a film, and a couple of more awesome people.
And I enjoyed that. A lot of films don't go that far like they should with zombies, where it's like, oh, this is what the zombie did when they were alive. Right? But if you have a zombie outbreak, right, you would have zombie soldiers. So I like that, though. I like that touch.
A little variety. We like a little variety.
I want a variety in my zombies a little bit. Can't help it. So I've met a lot of zombies, okay? They get boring being the same dude.
No, right. And that's what kind of captivates you at the beginning of this film. It's you're watching what's happening in that world, and then you realize, oh, there's two people watching this, on a drive-in screen, while whatever nastiness is happening on the inside where you can't see. They're kind of building this tension. The actress there is definitely telling her boy, or no, it was her brother. This is what we need. It's great. It's going to be wonderful. All along, we find out that she's, I don't know if she dropped out of college, but she was a med school student. I was like, what the fuck? Here she is, trying to be the getaway folks.
It's like I am in a situation that has changed on my life very quickly. And
it has gone awry.
This has to work. And that's kind of what I felt with them in that, both of them. It was like a desperation aspect of feeling like they were kind of at a wit's end to a point with it.
I love Kyler. Kyler says, well, Mortimer, time for you to pick some new eyes from some fresh guests to the crypt. Whoever he ends up luring. Might be luring a few this evening, as a matter of fact. And then I get to steal their souls. But and quickly we find out like who the leader of the pack is, and it's definitely Andy, Jennifer Michelle Stone. She is kind of the epitome of badass girl. You can't with me, and I have ulterior motives.
Right.
He's the one telling them, hey, this is how shit's gonna go. Let's move, let's whatever. And then they get to the rendezvous part where they're supposed to meet this, mysterious person, which is the great Lynn Lowry. And right out of the gate, they are attacked by these guardians. And when I tell you from head to toe, they look like they are plants evolved to, almost like T2 status.
See, I would say to me, and this is what I really liked. Okay, I really, really I loved the aesthetic, and I know you did too for the Guardians. Mm-hmm. Think of like if like a plant creature, humanoid, moved like the nurses from Silent Hill.
Yes, very crackly, very
but cool though, and in a really neat way. That was what I always love about that. My creature features give me something interesting, and this film does not disappoint. It gives you some different stuff that you're same stuff you're used to seeing.
And I love how they didn't wait for the sun to go down. This doesn't take place at night. They're being attacked.
It takes place during the day and the night,
Right, exactly. And they're getting attacked while it's light out. And the first mistake was the character of Candy shooting the poor gal that's watching over the barn stable that they're trying to hide in.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you skipped hello. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say in that part in their situation when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's not gonna probably go the way you wanted
Nope.
that to. That's not gonna play out well.
Nope.
I
If
just
you
got a
want,
feeling,
if you
you
want this
know.
gal, and her character name is Naja, is the one that they're greeted with at this barn. Um, you don't want to piss off your host,
Right, right.
you know. But Lynn Lowry's character also brings a little. her
I would
character
say,
name
yeah,
is Xenia, and
like mystery,
mm-hmm,
kind of like the mother that's I've got this. We have to do this. This is for the family.
mm-hmm.
It's what we have to do. But it has got, she brings a big level of mystery to her character, and I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Absolutely, because you have no idea, what's coming up.
Right, exactly.
From there is definitely some ulterior motives because we don't want to spoil anything for
Yeah.
anybody out there in
Yes,
the Black
yes. We
Flame
have to
universe that hasn't
tiptoe
seen
through the
this.
garden, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. But
Watch where you step.
obviously, go ahead.
I was going to say they got to be careful where they step in that garden, though.
Right.
I wouldn't stay too long either, and I would run quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid the brambles.
This film definitely lends a feeling of, it's not safe in the woods for multiple reasons. You don't know what's coming after you at this point. But I mean, obviously, the Guardians in epic fashion attack them while they're there. It's almost kind of like the zombie thing, where if you fire, you're making a loud bang, you're going to grab their attention, and that's exactly what the hell happens here. And they don't know how to fight these things.
Yeah.
And let me say, practical fucking effects from head to toe.
I'm glad you just said that. And also because I wanted to point out for the barbecue for sure that for an FX or horror film or something like that, unless you are a good artist that has a giant set on you, you are not going to try to show your monster usually in broad daylight.
Right.
Unless you know that the creatures look good, the suits look good, the work's been put in, and that film delivers on this. They're not afraid to show you the creatures in broad daylight. And I liked that.
Not at all.
And I loved that because, I mean, you get the differences, you get the different, nods and design and stuff like that. And it helped adding to, it's not like the clay dummy things off of freaking Power Rangers. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not like they took one mask and just ran it through. I need 20 of these. I want the same dude 20 times. They didn't go that route with this. There's differences, and that I appreciated a lot, just on a creative standpoint.
And I mean, the amount of suits that they created, just in abundance, all shapes, sizes. I mean, you have pretty much a freaking army.
Well, it's Robert Bravo that did the
Bravo effects. Absolutely.
Yeah, and let me put it this way to sum it up for our demons and addicts. That literally he has 56 FX credits on IMDb.
Yes.
56.
That is insane.
So he knows what he's doing.
An absolute testament.
And it shows. It shows. Yeah, it shows. It holds up. I mean, you can't do a creature feature really if the creature don't hold up. If the person, just like our brother Reaper there, if they can't control and play that character and bring that creature to life, it's a suit of rubber. It's makeup. It's you need the actor in there to do it. You need and yet again on that, every performer that played in a creature suit, be it the actor that was playing the part at the time or not, they all showed that what they were bringing to the table. And it's freezing cold outside.
They weren't walking like traditional zombies or something like that. And that's what really made these creatures more scary, more ethereal.
It's a triple creature feature. Because within our movie, you get zombies,
right?
You get the
That's
Guardians.
a lot of work.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say right out of the gate. It really was. It was an impressive amount of work that had to go in to make the film alone, just FX wise and practical effects wise specifically.
Yeah, and we're not even just talking about the prosthetics for the actors and actresses. We're talking about severed heads, and we're talking about getting
dismemberment,
stomped into the ground, limbs being torn off,
shedding. I would say shedding somebody.
Shedding. Yep.
Or getting to the heart of the matter of things. I mean, it's
literally.
What's an arm here? What's what's a two heads ain't always better than one.
Because we find our criminal group in the midst of what the fuck do we do here?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's suddenly a guiding light, and this is another point I want to make. Epic fucking music for this.
Oh yeah. The music was great. Now I agree with that. It's another good point. That's why we work so well together.
I mean, but it's true. Were perfect for every basically act of each of the different acts in this film. So we start with some great fucking metal. Just some power metal. I was like, I feel like it's a 1985 film.
Right.
Got some power metal going on. And then when this mysterious family that befalls them, and seems like they're saving the day, I might add. You get that kind of like Deliverance feel.
That's what I was going to say. It really is. The Deliverance as well. That's another good nod right there. But I was going to say like the Texas Chainsaw vibe. But honestly, I think Deliverance is more dead on.
Because it was such a lighthearted, feel.
Well, exactly. Well, it's like it was like, oh, it's all good and nice. They're going to help us. Oh shit. And it was like
shit. Everyone involved in that family, they got the accent nailed down. You can tell that they are a southern family, probably Southern Ohio is where I'm guessing, where this was probably shot, because there's a lot of farm.
Oh, it was. Yep, it was shot in Ohio in February.
I know a little something about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have respect for everybody for that, because that you can see the snow on the ground, and it's not Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. That is real snow.
Real snow. They were absolutely
came out of the sky and froze on the ground.
To make this movie, but what they have to go through with the blistering cold, I might add. This is what makes this film very special. Everyone was just as passionate about this film as the creators and everybody involved. And let's not forget the creme de la creme, my good friend, and everyone's good friend. Let's be real about that. Miss Felissa Rose. This is a shot of Jay Horton, the director, and Felissa and some cast members, as they did a lengthy tour of showing this at different film festivals with Q&A, and they did a drive-through. Let me try that again. A drive-in tour where they were picking different theaters that they could show it at.
Drive-in never dies.
When I say the Oscar goes to, I mean, it literally goes to Felissa Rose. And she did win some awards for her performance in this film. This was one of the most dynamic roles for her. This is not.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed this quite a bit.
Sleepaway camp.
No.
That she's known for. This was way out of her original range. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, quite a bit. Well, then I would say the range, like you were saying, like the opportunity, like the range she's known for, but not her ability, because fans of hers like us, since we first saw her, knew what she had in her. We knew how good of an actress she was.
She was more than just a Jamie Lee Curtis type.
Oh, no, yes. Yeah. Very much so. I would say very much so, because her range is way better. I'm sorry, folks, but it's true. And she's an absolute sweetheart. Reaper knows with this. He's been lucky enough to work with her. But
Morty, we're about to work together again.
Jealous as the day is long. But if it's going to be anybody, it should be my brother Reaper. But yes, no, her work in this, I don't want to say she steals the screen, because she's very giving to her other actors.
She kind of does steal it, even though she's not.
But your attention is pulled towards her because of her level of acting. Yes, very much so.
Her character in this is Henrietta.
And
she is the mama. She is the mama of this family of, shifters. I don't know. That's like the only thing I can really say, because they're human 1 minute and then the next minute they are fucking terrifying. And she lays it down. Like when she says something, she screams, you listen.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there through her scenes. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Well, and that's the funny thing too. When you say that, it's perfect, because for me, it made me think, and this is going to be a weird jump, but you'll get it. But it gave me Yellowstone vibes.
Oh, sure.
Because it was like when Kevin Costner's character would say something and put his foot down, they knew, don't cross him. You're screwed. That's on you. You don't do that. But that's on you. And that was very much the vibe. If you crossed Mama, you were going to regret it.
She was going to whip your ass.
Yeah, you were going to regret it.
If you're annoying her, she's going to let you know.
And they're not, like you said, it's like they shift between looking like normal people, but they're even in their normal human form, they're way stronger than a normal person, way tougher than a person. Can regenerate from damage.
Southern gumption.
It's something you don't want to mess with. And then you put Melissa Rose behind it and in charge of it, you're in trouble, brother.
She's like the leader of the fucking army.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The one actress, she is the best comic relief throughout the whole exchange between the family and that they're now the criminals are the captors. Do I want to say that, or being held captive? That's what I'm trying to say.
Being held captive for services rendered to the family.
Mm-hmm.
For trespassing.
And they don't know it yet.
Not yet.
At this point.
Not yet.
But this one actress, man, she is constantly, every time she says the line, spits. I'm sitting here going, oh, now that's a woman right there. She spits every 5 seconds on the ground. Like she got a big old wadded fucking skull in her mouth. I'm sitting there going, this is badass. Because typically you would see men doing that in these Southern type roles, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, she's like, yeah, that's what Mama said. Right on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sitting here going, she is just fabulous. So
it was like a firework, you know what I mean? She reminded me of like a walking, talking firework.
Yeah.
Like, mess with her, you're gonna blow your damn hand off. Don't do that.
Right. And let's not forget the great Angel Nicole Bradford as Odie. Oh. She is the youngest of this family of shifters, and she takes to oh my goodness, Hurt is his character name is Hurt, but it's Kevin Caliber. His character, she like eyeballs him right from the jump.
Right.
And his girlfriend, which is Candy, we're going in the room and we're about to knock boots, and that's what's going to happen. And she has this scene where she's listening in at the door and then licks the door. I said, that is fantastic.
That's commitment. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to lick a door, to convey your point as an actor.
She's like, I want to give me some of them Franken beans.
Right.
And then she gets up and leaves his ass just kind of hung like a dog in the bed. And then here she comes and she starts changing. And then when a blink of an eye, takes her out. I'm not even going to say what happens there, but little by little, each one of these people held captive from the criminal gang are trying to get away, and it's like the more they try to get away, the more they find out more about what's really going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, each try to escape kind of helps peel a little layer off what they're actually involved in, or well, I would like to say voluntarily stepped in without realizing what they were stepping in.
Right, exactly. They don't exactly know what they're in the middle of. And as things start to kind of come to life a little bit, because I mean, for us, the audience, which we're just on the edge of our seat the entire time, we think we know, we might know, but we don't know.
Right, you're trying to piece things together. But I like films that do that.
I do too.
I like ones that as it goes along, you're putting together everything. Yeah, so it's like by the time you get to the end, you're like, oh, okay. All right, let's do this. I get it. It's like, and you appreciate the ride you were taking on. I like that. I enjoy that in films.
Let's see. Another big standout actor for me in this. I just have to find my good friend Robert Todd Kennedy, who his character name is Todd. Go figure. I thought he was amazing. Oh, John Potash. That's the standout guy. John Potash's character is like, in my opinion, the equivalent to a cowboy. He's kind of like the cowboy of the family, because when he's fighting, he's got his gun there. He's just like, woohoo! Yeah, we're gonna get some action.
I very much appreciate
absolutely
that.
fell in love with his character.
Yeah, I appreciate that look. Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, but that's the thing too. Yeah, I mean, you can tell it's a film that tried to make each character interesting, as if they could,
Oh, there was so much character development.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or quirk or something about him that would make this motley crew of a family stand out, including, as you were saying, including for, that they're creatures too. They're not just this family that, it's like, as you said, you're trying to go through and figure out what's going on, not really always knowing what your footing is.
Right.
Now, and I like that. It's like, who can you trust? I don't know. It's like I'm kind of screwed either direction.
Nobody.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a moment between a couple of the actresses, which would be Miranda Burke Sadie Katz and Ashley Undercuffler. Where it seems like they kind of feel for each other.
Right.
Because when her character was shot, she ended up helping her and
render day.
Oh, I don't want any more harm to come to you. I'm going to take care of you. And there's like a love there.
Right. Yeah.
And it's very reminiscent of what the whole monster versus monster thing is.
Yeah, and which was something that I liked about that myself, was that kind of vibe there, it's kind of almost the same. It's not exactly, but it's almost, there's hints of it. There's nods to what kicked everything off to begin with.
The fact that two different species, were coming together. And of course,
and they both played it really well. Both actresses knocked it out. They did great. Yeah, nobody half-assed any of their roles. You can tell that, and I like that. I love that about indie, because you'll see at Hollywood, you get actors, you'll pay them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and they will put scenery. But then with indie actors, they do it because the love of storytelling and getting out there and bringing these triple creature feature to life. And then freezing their ass off in Ohio to bring it out for everybody. If you can't get behind that, oh man.
The cinematography on this film alone, from angles, how things are captured, the movements of the creatures, all the way down to this crazy family that change into their snake people or lizard people, whatever. It's up to your imagination.
I would say the mess around and find out family.
Right.
That sums it up.
Capturing the cinematography, and showing their changes. It was flawless. There was nothing there that seemed like it wasn't a smooth transformation from their human.
No. I was
gonna
say again, the effect work was next level, and the amount of it, like you were saying too, just the sheer amount.
Oh, it's unfucking real.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, and the level that it's done at as well, because normally, as I said, it's like you'd get the same villain 20 times if they wanted to do an army of things. And it's like in this, that's not the way it is. I mean we haven't even mentioned a certain floral queen, another big bad mama you don't want to mess with. But it's like, and without giving it away on that end, but her designs too were amazing and portrayed amazing.
Absolutely. There was a lot of time and thought put into that particular suit.
Body movements.
She has to embody that I am the queen of, the plant people, the guardians. And she stands out in epic fashion. Every time she shows up, something badass is about to happen.
But the other thing that I enjoyed with her too was that exactly what you were just saying, but that air of mess with me and just find out how far I'm willing to go, how upset I really am.
Well, she will reduce you to dust.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like she backed up the fear that they should have had, that they should have.
One of my most favorite epic moments in this film is when they are at the dinner table, and we have the two remaining captives tied up in very Texas Chainsaw way, and it gave me, like you said, those Texas Chainsaw vibes during that scene the most, because you don't know what they're about to eat.
Yeah,
you don't have a clue. There ain't no serving wenches or anything like that, bringing, appetizers and everything else. So, and Felissa is basically just hyping up all the family members. Leading up to this big moment, this epic battle, which we're not even going to tell you the whole thing.
No,
of course. But when they opened that pot and there was the head, I was like, this is bad fucking ass. It's time to eat.
Yeah.
All my favorite creatures from the abyss were like,
oh yeah,
ready to eat that shit up.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, they were having head soup tonight. And
one of our captives.
What's for dinner?
So without further ado, I have shown this one other time, and that's when I had interviewed Jay Horton before he went on his tour to show this film. We're going to, if you haven't seen it and you haven't watched the film yet, here is the official trailer for A Hard Place. Check that shit out.
You said no one would get hurt.
We need to find somewhere to lay low. Somewhere off the grid. I know just the place.
What the hell?
Let's blow this pot stand.
Where are you gonna go? Where? I know you're scared.
You step outside that door, and you'll get tore apart. We've been warring with these monsters for a long time.
We're caretakers.
They're coming for us.
Drink this in. Because it's your home now.
The creatures that roam the night And the monsters that rule the day still out there, looking for vengeance.
Salad!
Hope they all die.
We're just trying to lend a helping hand.
Good luck.
Just get daddy!
That was intense.
Some great one-liners as well. So my hat's off most definitely to the script writing there, because there is a lot of comic relief throughout. It's very subtle, but when it happens, it's great because it breaks that tension.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I agree with that. And the banter between, when people are like, when you're trying to realize that when it's your WTF moments, that they're trying to, as like you said, they're trying to figure out what's going on, and it's like between each other, and it's like, well, you don't know what's going on. Well, yeah, but you don't and it's like, in the audience is, in that point, the audience knows a little bit more than they do, because they've been watching them. So it's like they're gonna, this is not working out well for them. This is
right. I mean, this
like,
film literally has everything: epic action, whether it's gunfights, fist fights, fighting these guardians,
straight up monster battles.
Straight up monster battles. I mean, what other independent horror film out there could bring this? This film delivers on every single bit of it. And I'm glad that Kyler brought this up. He said, also, I felt that punch. The thing about that, that I wanted to kind of like piggyback off of was the sound effects.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
These did not feel anything other than organic. Like,
not organic.
Like they were layered.
Salad shooter, it was perfect. Yeah, it's like, but I appreciated that though. For that gets me sometimes, and he knows what I mean. There's some creature movies that would do that to where you don't got the and the.
It just doesn't sound real enough. Yeah, it's like somebody's beaten. A piece of broccoli or celery back there.
Right. Exactly.
These actually sounded like these were bones or these were blood splats.
Limbs and it's like chlorophyll filled muscles and stuff. It's like this. I'm saying it's like when it needed to sound juicy, it was juicy. When it needed to be, a gunshot or whatever like that or a punch or anything like that,
or a heart getting ripped out.
Well,
I mean, that was
women a woman scorned, brother. A woman scorned.
And just about every woman in this film is scorned. So, I mean, it's going to be over the top.
Yeah, that did.
Yeah. Some other things that obviously there is a little bit of CG in there, but it was absolutely
but it's thrown in when it needs to be thrown in. There's,
absolutely seamless with the explosion. It's probably the only part of the film that even had it.
Well, Jay knows how to control that the right way, where he can take practical effects and use the CG to enhance what he needs to,
right?
Without, it's like, oh, guess what? We can't blow up this building to do this scene because we are in the film, but digitally we can. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Oh, and straight up, they set it up epically too, because you got a bunch of propane tanks sitting around.
Well, exactly. You've got the buildup. You've got all this.
Your actors are dousing it with gasoline, and you're like, "Oh fuck, something huge is going to happen." And
then, you kind of start to find that, yeah. And seeing, I like that too, because it's in most like the old action movies. It's like, okay. In those movies, certain explosions would happen. Like they used to parody that, where explosions would just happen on things for no reason. Like, why did that explode? That doesn't make no sense. And it's like, this one didn't do that.
Nope.
And I like that.
Did not disappoint.
It didn't disappoint. And I have to make a nod without getting anything away. I just have to give a nod. I enjoyed a certain scene set, like a set of scenes that were underground.
Yes. I mean, if you are squeamish, this particular property had a tunnel that went under it, apparently, because it's legit, 1,000%. This is no set. And it looked and felt like I am going to start hyperventilating.
See, I thought about a summer vacation, like a summer spot for me.
Right, because it was complete with water and everything else. You could do the bone stroke.
Or I could rehydrate. That might help get some color back in these dead cheeks.
Get your exercise on a little bit.
Yeah.
Strengthen them bones.
Yeah.
Man, so honestly, there is no reason why everybody out there in the Black Flame universe hasn't seen this yet. It is on Tubi for free. This is beyond Indiegogo, beyond perks, beyond just happening to be at the right place at the right time to see it in a theater. It is on Tubi streaming right now. Epic as fuck. And there's no reason that y'all ain't been out there to see this yet. So for me, this is my rating on Jay Horton's Epic, A Hard Place, the monster creature feature of all creature features. And it's what's been missing from the indie scene. I'm going to go, first of all, 5 out of 5 stars. This one was completely 5 out of 5 for me because the acting is on point. There is not one actress that did not punch that shit home and made those characters their own. Excellent cast. Cinematography is amazeballs. Every piece of this film captured makes you feel like you've walked into this world that is not like the one that you're used to. It also brings a certain realism to be like, oh, this possibly could happen. You know what I mean? So it doesn't feel fake. The script is genius. So, I mean, that's another big point for me. It's storytelling, no matter which way you cut the mustard or the femur or the upper thigh.
Usually with the saw.
Either way, there's just a great epic tale here with a lot of dimension. And then, of course, the music. So all of those things combined, it's a 5 out of 5 for me.
Well, it's for me, I'm gonna have to say it is 5 skulls for Mortimer. It's 5 across the board for me. Just the first standoff alone. Okay, it stars Felissa Rose. You've already got my ticket. You've already got my movie ticket right there.
Line and sinker right from the get-go.
Right there, you already got me. Second off, I'd like to speak out a point as an undead gentleman myself. I like that monster diversity is finally being shown in films. And we have our undead brother, the zombie. Yes. We have the guardians, and we have the caretakers. So we have three creatures to where you get to see their kind of life, walk in there, twisted vines, or, morph into a snake person and bite somebody's face off. Or if you're a zombie, you get that brain fog, munch a crunch a human right there, man. But it brings us all together.
It does.
But I agree with the stunts, the practical effects. Me, I love it. The stunts were amazing. Kevin Caliber knocked those out of the park. Everything was great with that. All of the actors and actresses knocked it out of the park for me. I lied. 5 out of 5 skulls.
There's just nothing to not dig about this. And just as a piggyback from that particular comment, I mean, there's not a whole lot of creature features that don't focus on one creature. This one focuses on 3. So if you have a big palate like myself and my brother Mortimer there, there's enough to keep you full and overfill your cup.
hey, there's nothing wrong with the second helping at a horror barbecue.
That's right.
And if it's a triple creature feature, triple creatures. And also, yet again, we have to say, for a movie within a movie, you're getting Bai Ling beating the hell out of zombies.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more kick-assery than watching her, karate through those damn zombies. It was magic.
Got Lynn Lowry. It's
my goodness,
tons of people that went through this that just they like Reaper had said, nobody half-assed their job. Everybody came to play and tell the story, and it shows. So yeah, totally for me,
start to finish. Yep. Not a dull moment in this film. And as part of that cinematography that I was mentioning before, the drone shots were, it gave you the feeling of a film that didn't cost $6 million to make. You know what I mean?
Right. But it also,
and they were well placed.
Well, that's what I like. The drone shots in this, for me, like you were saying, it shows, like you said, higher production value than most films can indie films can pull off most of the time, unless they're lucky. It does happen, Right. But for this, it was like, that's part of what gave me the Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe of stuck out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, it conveyed that, even though, the original Texas Chainsaw didn't have drone shots, but it was the same. It conveyed, if these people's van or whatever, or, are people trying to flee, get on the lam, so to speak, vehicle goes out, you're done. You're going to freeze, you're good for this one. You're stuck out in the wilderness. And in this case, the wilderness fights back, and then sometimes the help is not really your help, so it's, you don't want to get in that kind of situation. And it's like, but this film, I felt literally took you on a roller coaster ride. Like you were saying, there's not really a dull moment, and even leads into other things that you'll have to watch to find out.
So that is our synopsis of Jay Horton's A Hard Place. Highly recommended from both of our Crips. There's no excuse for you not to check this out. If that trailer didn't entice you, if some of the things we've mentioned hasn't, even tickled you a little bit, you're already dead.
Melissa Rowe.
Right. Thank you all so much for joining us on the Horror Barbecue, and we can't wait to see what's coming next for Jay Horton, which is the Apex Predator Club. So that one's going to be even larger. So get ready, and we highly recommend this. So definitely, if you but don't forget, damn it, we're not done here tonight. This is a celebration. It is time for the goddamn program. So in about 5 minutes, if you are ready to sin, if you are ready to let your hair down and go buck wild in whatever way you feel and get your gut busted by us crazy folk, enjoy the chaos, the insanity of the goddamn program just minutes away. So thank you all so much for joining us here on Saturday night. And thank you for picking Black Flame Entertainment as your dark entertainment. So as you're got visions of monsters battling each other in your head, just remember, make sure you taste bad and always stay heavy.
Thank you for joining us on Reapers Underground. Stay tuned for more from Black Flame